They're suing me for something I didn't do. It's just the most bullshit thing. And I literally had to pay them a lot of fucking money.
Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis came.
They just decided to pull the plug.
Tab 3. Big drama hits boxing as Jake Paul faces a lawsuit from Gervonta Davis. After Paul canceled their planned fight, Davis moved ahead with legal action. This is not only about a fight, but about pride, money, and reputations under pressure in real time. What seemed like one of this year's most thrilling clashes has now become a complicated and messy story. The anticipated bout between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, set for November 14th in Miami, has been officially canceled. Fans had waited for months, hoping to watch the YouTuber turned boxer step in against one of the sport's hardest punchers. Netflix was involved. Millions of dollars were at risk, and the event aimed to blend entertainment with high-stakes competition on a massive global stage.
So that fight that was supposed to go down with Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis in Miami on November 14th is not happening. It has been canceled officially.
Then everything collapsed. The promotional material was ready, the cameras were in position, the contracts were signed, and in an instant, the entire fight vanished. Jake Paul jumped onto social media to justify his choice, presenting it as a necessary and responsible decision.
Because you have someone that we come from two different sides, like, of the world. We still on the same path to get the same thing.
Jake did not hold back in his statements. He sharply attacked Gervonta, accusing him of misconduct, and claimed that Netflix had pulled its support for the event. He framed the cancellation around his company's values, insisting that he could not move forward with a fight that crossed ethical lines. The way he delivered it, the timing, the presentation, and the message were all crafted to position himself as the responsible figure walking away from wrongdoing. For a brief moment, that version of the story actually seemed to connect.
One of the most feared punchers in the sport of boxing. He's got a 93% knockout percentage. That's one of the best among current world champions.
Yet the early praise soon collapsed as the applause shifted into murmurs that grew steadily sharper. What started as quiet doubts from people within the promotion expanded when Tank's team challenged the story, and soon seasoned boxing voices stepped forward, exposing the polished narrative and revealing exactly what it truly represented to the public.
Gervonta Tank Davis team fights back after Jake Paul canceled the fight, went on a tirade.
The storyline Jake Paul tried to shape collapsed almost instantly. Netflix never pulled the fight. According to Gervonta Davis's coach Kenny Ellis, the bout remained planned. Ellis did not soften his message, saying Jake simply lost courage. Just like that, the image of moral strength and heroism broke apart. What had been portrayed as a noble stance now appeared more like fear hidden behind virtue.
I never let myself go there. You know, I'm a fierce competitor.
Tank's team is now fighting back, and they're stating that Netflix did not, in fact, cancel the bout.
Quiet rumors started spreading about his weight problems. The agreement demanded 195 pounds, but sources claimed Jake was nowhere near it, sluggish, tired, and far from his best. The bold image he had built for years suddenly looked vulnerable. At the same time, Davis was sharpening his craft, becoming quicker, leaner, and more dangerous with each intense workout. As fight night approached, the message looked obvious. Jake Paul could be heading toward real danger. Kenny Ellis said Netflix never canceled, Jake did. Fear not, circumstances stopped the fight.
He has made a significant impact on the sport of boxing. He has certainly brought new eyes to the sport. He's done so much in uplifting women's boxing.
Questions began rising among fans that had never been asked before. If this was truly about ethics, then why had Jake already fought opponents with troubled histories like Mike Tyson, who spent time in prison, or Mike Perry, who faced multiple accusations? Why was Davis suddenly the line he refused to cross, the one matchup that became unacceptable? It made people look closer and wonder about what really pushed him to cancel the fight.
They called Gervonta Davis the Tank for a reason. He only needed one shot to end the entire night.
Stop. Davis, big straight left, down goes Boy.
Jake's carefully crafted image of moral superiority began to fall apart. Every post on social media and every public statement that had portrayed him as principled now seemed like a mask for fear. Fans started spotting the pattern, the speeches about doing the right thing, the perfectly timed exit, the dramatic cancellation, all signaling less heroism and more a retreat from a fight he may not have been ready for. According to insiders like Ellis, the truth was obvious. This was never about ethics. It was about avoiding a matchup he likely could not manage. Slowly, the narrative Jake had worked so hard to build started to unravel.
Jake fought a guy who was his age and was also considered a boxer, and he lost.
It just pisses me the fuck off. And then
You're good. Take a break.
By that point, the stakes for Jake had escalated dramatically. He was no longer facing typical entertainment-focused opponents. He was confronting a genuine world-class puncher whose abilities demanded respect. The carefully constructed PR narrative started to wobble. What had been framed as a moral stance now appeared more like a calculated retreat. For a short time, it persuaded the public. But as more details came out, the story began turning against him.
Jake Paul took that and ran with it and then used it as a catalyst to stain Tank's name but not have to fight him.
Gervonta Davis is moving forward with legal action. He has filed a lawsuit against Jake Paul citing defamation and breach of contract. The suit claims that Jake's public statements and remarks caused serious damage to Davis's reputation and finances. According to the court filing, what Jake framed as a moral choice was actually deliberate. If Davis's team can prove that Netflix had not canceled the fight, Jake could face major financial repercussions.
I believe that he was making the money he says he's making. Showtime Boxing wouldn't have gone out of business, and Showtime would have made sure they kept.
Coach Kenny Ellis did not hold back. He argued that Jake Paul's claims about defending women were more about safeguarding his public image than actually taking a stand. According to Ellis, the moral storyline was a carefully constructed PR tactic. Supporting proof, including past interviews and messages, indicates that Jake was nervous and unprepared, looking for a way out of a fight he feared he could not face.
What else to say? I didn't want to give this woman abuser a platform to grow his fans and to grow his bank account. My company champions women. I'm so sorry to everyone involved, mostly to the undercard fighters, to my team at MVP, and to my team who worked so.
Then, the Netflix angle emerged. Observers picked up on a key detail. Netflix never officially withdrew from the fight. There were no press releases or announcements, and the company's logo remained on promotional materials even days after Jake's statement. This indicated that the streaming giant had not canceled the event at all. Tank Davis's team quickly highlighted this, showing that Jake had effectively used Netflix's name as a shield. The timeline was clear. Jake announced the cancellation first, while Netflix had not taken any action.
Ring Magazine. Jake Paul admits he's scared and losing sleep over a Gervonta Davis fight.
At the heart of the lawsuit is the allegation that Jake Paul did not just back out of the fight. He allegedly made public claims that harmed Tank Davis's reputation. By suggesting he acted on moral principles and implying that Netflix had canceled the event, Jake's statements are now being framed as damaging to Davis's career. The lawsuit highlights financial losses, including fight earnings, sponsorship deals, and promotional rights, arguing that all of these were disrupted by Paul's comments. According to Davis's legal team, what may have begun as a PR tactic has now evolved into a serious legal and financial issue where public narratives are replaced by evidence and courtroom scrutiny.
Jake Paul, the contracted weight is 195 pounds. I bet if he were to get on a scale today that he's nowhere near the fight weight. Is so many games being.
Critics are now highlighting inconsistencies in Jake Paul's reasoning. While he presented his decision as a refusal to face someone with a controversial past, he has previously fought opponents with their own histories, such as Tyson and Perry. Observers suggest that the cancellation came at a convenient moment when it became clear that Davis was a serious threat. According to Davis's team, Paul was fully aware of their fighter's record when the contract was signed, making the timing of his moral objections seem calculated rather than sincere.
Pull the fight, so don't blame Gervonta Davis accusations. Jake Paul has a far worse track record. Jake Paul backed out.
Jake Paul, famous for his larger-than-life persona and talent for turning fights into massive spectacles, suddenly cast himself as the moral authority when facing Gervonta Davis. He has built his career on hype, bravado, and promotion, transforming every challenge into entertainment. But against a skilled knockout artist like Davis, Paul framed his withdrawal as a principled decision. Observers view this as a strategic pivot. When the fight became dangerous, the story shifted. What was presented as courage and ethics could also be seen as a tactical retreat, showing how carefully staged exits are rarely judged heroic under close examination.
It was Jake Paul who found a scapegoat kind of in an exit strategy and got to
Boxing analyst Ego delivered a blunt perspective. If the sport banned every fighter with a past mistake, few would remain. Boxing has never been about perfection. It has always been about resilience. Champions like Mike Tyson, Julio Cesar Chavez, Andre Ward, and Floyd Mayweather did not succeed because of flawless records or perfect reputations. They succeeded through struggle, adversity, and difficult decisions. In the ring, skill and heart matter far more than morality. But outside it, in the courtroom, the rules operate on an entirely different level.
He's paying the beater.
Oh shit, you're right.
Jake's sudden show of moral principle appeared strangely out of place in the sport. Boxing thrives on grit, sweat, and pure determination, not carefully staged theatrics. To fans and fellow fighters alike, it quickly became obvious that the performance did not reflect the reality inside the ring.
Jake is consensual. That's the thing. It's consensual. Two consensual parties,
Well,
two
you
women.
didn't say that word.
No, I'm saying it's consensual. I'm saying these two women.
So
came
he
together.
paid women to beat on each other.
Exactly.
Got you.
Jake Paul thrives under the spotlight, yet the ring does not respond to theatrics. Real fighters confront challenges head-on. They do not give speeches about contracts or stage moral exits. Now, confronted with a genuine threat, Jake's online persona cannot shield him from the consequences.
Also, I was thinking too, maybe Tank isn't used to being the B-side of a fight.
B-side. So everybody's working around his schedule, and now
Yeah, when you the A-side, you get to dictate things, you pick who you want, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's not used to being the B-side.
Brands that once supported Jake Paul are now reconsidering their involvement. The image of the fearless, untouchable star is beginning to fade. Jake may have dodged punches in the ring, but this is a different battlefield, one with no referee or cheering crowd. Here it is all legal briefs, contracts, evidence, and the unrelenting glare of reality. If the court sides with Davis, the financial consequences could be massive. Even more damaging is the hit to reputation. The persona of fearless bravado carries no weight under oath. What once looked like courage now seems carefully constructed, revealing the fear beneath. The real question is not whether Jake misled anyone. It is why. Was it principle or pure fear? Fear of losing, fear of exposure, fear of facing a legitimate threat capable of shattering the image he spent years building.
That's the thing. It's consensual. Two consensual parties,
Well,
two
you didn't
women.
say that word.
No, I'm saying it's consensual. I'm saying these two women.
So
came
he paid
together.
women to beat on each other.